Think you can get away with it? Not when these dogs are around. These would-be thieves got a surprise they never saw coming, proving that sometimes karma has 4 paws and a loud bark. These thieves got some instant, well-deserved justice. 1. 3 dogs versus 1 stupid thief. So, this genius thought sneaking into someone's backyard would be a smooth operation, right? Wrong. He barely makes it to the back door before the family's heavyweight champion comes in.
You can't see it from this angle, but in the doorway he spots a small family dog guarding the house. The intruder backs up, attempting to calm the dog and not seem like a threat. When all of a sudden, a second dog senses danger and springs into action.
A massive South African Mastiff storms in like it's game time. But the real surprise? That was the family's pint-sized security detail.
The man tries to fight back, but this brave pooch refuses to give up. The smaller dog, who has been guarding the door along with an even smaller pup, is now trying to get in on the action too.
And suddenly, it's 3 dogs versus 1 clueless intruder. The guy tries to put up a fight, but the big dog isn't having any of it. Next thing you know, this guy's getting dragged across the yard by his pants. He somehow escapes by grabbing the dog's ears and scrambles onto a table, like that's going to save him. But of course, he didn't actually manage to get very far.
You can't see it from this angle, but the man has now jumped on top of a table, where he'll remain until the dog's owners return home. The intruder was treated for his injuries and later arrested.
Guess who's getting treated for dog-related injuries and a fresh pair of handcuffs? 2. Pantless thief. So this guy thought he could break into a house, grab some loot, and sneak out. What he didn't count on were 2 massive dogs waiting to turn his plan into a disaster. He barely makes it past the garden before these beasts get hold of him. His brilliant escape plan? Trying to hide in a tree, but that did not work. The dogs were relentless, gnawing away at his pants like they had all day. They weren't just going for a bite. They slowly ripped his pants off piece by piece. The poor guy ended up on the railing at one point, thinking he'd outsmarted them. Nope. These dogs knew exactly what they were doing, and they weren't letting him off easy. The owner, watching the whole thing. And just when the thief thought he might get a lifeline, she hits him with, "If you run, they'll kill you for sure." He eventually climbed back up into the tree, hoping to be saved. Sadly, he was on his own. Legend has it, the man's still in that tree, living off of leaves to this day. 3. The worst jump of all time. So, this guy decides it's a great idea to jump the back wall and sneak into someone's house. He barely makes it to the little laundry area when, out of nowhere, 2 dogs come charging around the corner like they've been waiting for this moment their whole lives. At first, he thinks he's still in the clear, like maybe he's got a chance. Yeah, no. He's about to find out just how wrong he is. As he tries to scramble back up onto the laundry area, these dogs team up and yank him right back down. They aren't just pulling him down, they're spinning him in circles, like they're putting on some kind of dog performance. The guy's panicking, trying to smack them away, but it's almost comical how useless it is. He's swinging, but it's like he's not even touching them. They just keep coming. The dogs? Total pros. This was some real-life Paw Patrol action, except instead of saving anyone, They're making sure this guy regrets every choice that led him there. He thought he was going to walk away from this, but those dogs had other plans. Teamwork at its finest. Four, the wrong safe spot. So, this guy sneaks into the backyard, thinking he's struck gold with no one around. He takes a few cautious steps, spots the shed, and figures, why not? He starts climbing through the window like he's about to pull off the perfect heist. But here's where it all goes south. A Doberman shows up, and this isn't just any dog. This guy's on patrol checking the windows and doors like a pro. Instead of going full attack mode right away, the Doberman plays it smart. He heads back to rat the guy out to his owner, basically saying, "Hey dad, you might want to check the shed." The owner comes in, opens the door, and boom, there's the thief caught in the act. But the best part was that the Doberman was just chilling, waiting for the action to unfold like it's a game. The boy was straight up having fun here, and when things do go down, it's the dog who gets the final say. He took the guy down in the shed, holding him like a pro until the cops roll up. The thief probably thought he'd get away, but not with this Doberman on duty. 5. Not so sneaky. So, this guy thinks he's a stealthy mastermind as he sneaks up into the driveway, eyeing a shiny red car like it's his ticket to freedom. Everything seems so quiet that he genuinely believes no one's around to catch him. But he couldn't be more wrong. Just as he's about to make his move, the family dog springs into action, and this isn't just any pooch. Nope, he's got backup. Another big dog and a tiny sidekick ready for chaos. The moment the dogs charge at him, it's game over. They chase him around the yard, not even giving him a second to breathe. He's trying to escape, but these dogs are relentless, knocking him off his feet and sending him tumbling. You can hear his screams for them to stop, but these pups are having the time of their lives. It's a full-on canine takeover, and this guy quickly realizes he's in way over his head. Forget the red car. He's just trying to survive the whirlwind of fur and barking as he desperately tries to get away. Okay. 6. The ultimate bad day. This guy jumps over the wall, thinking he's got it all figured out as he sneaks into the backyard. He even clears the steel fencing like it's nothing, completely ignoring the big "stay out" signs. But just as his feet hit the ground, the guard dogs come charging in, and his little plan goes up in smoke. He tries to act tough, like an alpha dog himself, barking orders at the pups to stay down. To no one's surprise, it doesn't work. They knock him back instantly, like they've been waiting for this moment to come, all their lives. Then the real fun begins. The dogs go all in, grabbing him and pulling him down to the ground. He tries to fight back, but it's like bringing a spoon to a knife fight. Totally useless. Just when he thinks he might escape, a passerby notices the chaos unfolding. The thief makes a break for it, trying to jump back over the wall, but guess what? The dogs aren't done with him yet. They get a solid bite on his backside, yanking him back down. Meanwhile, some people outside decide to help by throwing a bucket of water into the yard. The first toss, a complete miss. The second, yeah, that one lands right on him instead. It's like his bad day just keeps piling on, and he cannot get away. 7. Watchdog. So this guy thinks he's a master thief as he tries to steal a bike. But just when he thinks he's in the clear, in comes a massive golden retriever, and things take a hilarious turn. Instead of barking and biting like you'd expect, this pup pulls a fast one. He starts acting all cute and playful, throwing the thief completely off his game.
Because you're so cool, come here. Because you're the coolest dog I've ever known. I love you too. You're a sweetheart. I want you to come home with me. Where's your dad? Your dad should not leave your garage open.
Instead of scaring him off, the dog manages to charm the guy into coming back inside, almost like he's saying, "Hey, why don't you hang out for a bit?" The thief, down on his knees, can't resist petting the fluff ball and ends up gushing about how he loves him and that he's the coolest dog ever. It turned into a full-on petting session right in the middle of a heist. But then reality hits him, and with a quick glance back, he finally bolts for it. Meanwhile, the golden retriever is just doing his job, playing the world's friendliest watchdog while the guy makes off with the bike. I guess that's one way to steal a heart and a bike. Eight, the wrong gas station. A good-sized pit bull boxer mix who tags along with his owner to a Portland gas station every day played hero when a suspect attempted to rob the place, not once, but twice. According to Saco Deputy Chief Jeffrey Holland, the robbery attempt happened on February 9th, 2016. When the suspect tried to intimidate an employee into handing over cash, the employee stood his ground, clutching his loyal dog. That's when the pit bull boxer mix decided to step in. The moment the robber made his move, the dog lunged at him, biting him right in the face. He wanted everyone to know that he meant business and that no one could mess with his dad like that. Thanks to the dog's quick action, the would-be robber didn't stand a chance. Instead of walking away with money, he got a nasty surprise in the form of a powerful bite from a guard dog. It's safe to say that this gas station has one of the best security teams around, and that dog isn't just a pet, he's a full-time protector. 9. The secret weapon. So this robber decided that it's a brilliant idea to hit up a gun store. Like, really? Guns are literally everywhere in there. But the owner wasn't worried at all. He's got a secret weapon, his trusty guard dog. And when the robber comes in, that dog springs into action, and the robber realizes that he's just made the worst decision of his life. The pooch lunges at the guy, but he's not quite over the counter yet. Luckily, the owner gives him the little boost he needs, and that's all it takes. The robber barely gets 2 steps in before he's met with a furry fury he clearly wasn't prepared for. In a place where the owner could have easily pulled out a weapon, all it took was a determined dog and a little teamwork to bring the would-be thief down. Talk about a wake-up call. That robber must have realized he walked into the wrong store on the wrong day. And let's just say, he didn't get very far at all. 10. Doberman, I choose you. So this kid is out playing Pokemon Go, super into catching virtual creatures and not really paying attention to the street. Not the smartest move, right? Well, this kid thinks ahead further than anyone else would have in his place. He brought his Doberman along to keep an eye out for him. And let me tell you, that dog did not disappoint. Just as the kid is focused on his game, a guy tries to jump out and snatch the kid's phone right out of his hands.
Hey, give me that phone. Give me that phone.
No, leave me alone. You just pass off.
Hey, give me that.
But the Doberman springs into action, showing exactly why he was there. With a quick bark and a fierce stance, he scared the would-be thief away in an instant. The robber must have realized he picked the wrong target when a protective pup came charging in. Instead of getting away with an easy score, he was left running in the opposite direction, probably regretting his life choices. Thanks to the kid's loyal companion, the day ended with a successful Pokemon hunt. 11. Walk turned serious. So this guy is on the run from the cops, thinking he's got it all figured out. But just when he thinks he can make his escape, he literally runs into someone out for a walk with his dog. And that's where the unexpected heroics kick in. The dog, probably sensing the adrenaline and chaos, jumps into action like he's been trained as a police dog. No hesitation, no second thoughts. He's all in. The moment the guy stumbles into their path, the dog latches on and doesn't let go. It's like the pup's got his own little badge now. While the police are closing in, they get an extra hand in the most unexpected way. The dog's relentless grip helps hold the guy in place until the cops get to him. Instead of escaping, he ends up in a situation he never saw coming. This four-legged officer proved that sometimes the best backup isn't in a uniform, but on a leash. 12. Not a safe house. So this guy spots an unlocked gate and thinks he's hit the jackpot. A perfect target, right? Wrong. He barely steps foot inside the yard when a tiny Shih Tzu comes barreling in like a furry tornado, ready to defend its turf. The moment he crosses the threshold, that little pup is on him, barking like there's no tomorrow. The guy barely manages 2 steps before the Shih Tzu chases him right back out, and it's not stopping there. This dog isn't just protecting the house, it's on a mission. The tiny guardian goes all the way out with him, making sure he knows he's not welcome. That little dog might not have been the biggest protector, but it sure had the heart and determination to send that guy packing. Talk about a fierce defense from a small package. 13. Nowhere to hide. That guy you hear screaming? Yeah, he just made the brilliant decision to wander into another man's yard. And now he's going to learn why you don't mess with homeowners who have 2 German shepherds. As the commotion escalates, the homeowner hears the ruckus and rushes outside to see what's going on. He was yelling, "Get your dog! Oh my God! Yeah, get out of here!" The intruder is already in full panic mode, trying to take cover on top of a car like it's going to save him from the impending doom of those protective pups. The German shepherds, originally guarding their yard, quickly shift gears to protect their owner's vehicle, barking and circling the car like they're on high alert. "Get out of here! Go!" The homeowner was actually giving him a chance to get out of there now that he was scared enough. And just in case you were wondering, that guy eventually scrambles off, probably realizing he's not cut out for a face-off with 2 determined dogs. I have a feeling he won't be back anytime soon. After all, who wants to relive that terrifying encounter? 14. A sudden twist. There's nearly a 1 in 20 chance of becoming a victim of crime, which makes locking your doors, day or night, essential. This incident unfolds in the middle of the afternoon, as security footage captures a man casually strolling into a downtown apartment through the side door. Upon entering, he's greeted by a massive family dog, a 122-pound Great Dane mix named Dubai. But there's a catch. This home isn't his. Inside, a mother and her blind son are completely unaware of the looming danger, just around the corner. The intruder begins to pet Dubai, attempting to win over the gentle giant and hoping for a smooth getaway. However, things take a wild turn when Mom hears a noise and steps out to investigate, only to come face to face with this unexpected guest. She lets out a piercing scream, and in an instant, Dubai switches from friendly pooch to protective guardian, and now he's got backup. He bites the intruder in the rear, then lunges for his head, going the most to get his family safe. Fearing for his life, the intruder bolts, while Mom quickly locks the door and calls the police. Dubai keeps barking, clearly ready to take another bite out of crime if given the chance. Police ended up tracking down the suspect, 32-year-old Robert Ward, who was later convicted of second-degree burglary, all thanks to the family dogs. 15. The wrong neighborhood. This K9 was on a mission to catch a slippery thief who just wouldn't stop running. The chase was intense, with the dog barking and sprinting, trying to close the gap. But just when it seemed like the thief might escape, the cop decided to let the leash go, and that's when the real action happened. In a split second, the K9 zoomed over, practically flying through the air. The thief had no idea what hit him. The dog knocked him right over, and in the process, managed to grab a nice chunk of his butt. That's a rough way to go down. Suddenly, the thief found himself not just facing arrest, but also dealing with a very determined dog clamped onto him. With the K9 holding firm, the poor guy had no choice but to surrender. The only way out of this mess was to accept his fate and get arrested. It's not every day you see a thief taken down by a dog's enthusiasm, proving once again that crime doesn't pay, and sometimes it comes with a bite. 16. Thief escape gone wrong. The police were hot on the heels of a car thief, giving chase when the suspect makes a quick turn and disappears from view. But here's where the story takes a wild turn. The K9 unit isn't about to let him slip away that easily. The dog springs into action, quickly catching up to the thief and sinking its teeth right into his backside. At this point, the thief is no longer worried about being arrested. His only concern is getting this pup off him. You can hear the adrenaline in the air as they try to coordinate efforts to help the K9 apprehend the suspect. "Get him! Get him!" someone shouts, and it's clear that the dog is fully focused on its job, oblivious to the thief's plight. Finally, as the police secure the situation, they call for rescue, not for the suspect, but for the dog bite. 17. Up in the air. This thief thought he had it all figured out when he targeted a home for a break-in. He climbed up onto the wall, thinking he could sneak past the dog and make a clean getaway. But what he didn't count on was the sheer determination of the canine on watch duty. That dog wasn't about to let him get away that easily. With its protective instincts kicking in, the pup stayed right by the entrance, keeping a watchful eye on the would-be intruder. As the thief tried to make his move, the dog made it clear he wasn't leaving its territory. Realizing his plan was falling apart, the thief barely managed to escape with his foot intact. In a panic, he scrambled over the electric fence and jumped off with the dog barking fiercely behind him. He finally took off running, knowing that he'd made a huge mistake. Lesson learned: next time, maybe pick a house without a four-legged protector. 18. Poop trip gone right. This hilarious moment captures how a dog named Draco became an unlikely hero, saving his family from a potential car theft. The incident unfolded early in the morning, on August 6th in Missouri. A man was spotted creeping into the garage and trying to pull the handle of a Honda parked inside, clearly eyeing it as an easy target. But just as he thought he had a shot at a quick getaway, Draco, the family's biggest and newest rescue pup, was let out to potty. As soon as he spotted the intruder, Draco didn't hesitate. He sprang into action, chasing after the would-be thief and sending him scrambling back toward the fence in a panic. One moment, he's plotting a crime, and the next, he's running for his life. Thanks to Draco's bravery, the family car, and their home, is safe from any would-be thieves. Sometimes all you need is a loyal pup to keep trouble at bay. 19. Worst way to get caught. In a bizarre turn of events, a robber found himself in over his head after breaking into a home, only to be caught red-handed by the owners. In a panic, he dashed up to the roof, thinking he could escape that way. But the owners weren't about to let him get away easily. As they chased him, he reached the edge of the roof, contemplating his next move. Luckily for the homeowners, just in time, the owner's mom brought out the dogs. The robber jumped down, but instead of freedom, he was met with a flurry of barking and teeth. The dogs attacked, tearing at his clothes and adding to his chaos. In a desperate attempt to fend them off, he grabbed a flimsy plastic pipe, but it was no match for the canine onslaught. Realizing he was in way over his head and with the dogs on him, he finally gave up. The homeowner quickly tied him up, ensuring he wouldn't go anywhere until the authorities arrived. The funniest thing here is that the dogs completely lost interest at this point and just went back inside. The thief wasn't even worth their trouble anymore. That's a whole other level of embarrassing here. 20. Human chew toy. This guy made a big mistake when he tried to rob a house in South Africa, not realizing he was about to face the ultimate canine duo. As he sneaked in, he was quickly ambushed by two dogs who treated him like their very own chew toys, one grabbing each of his arms and not letting go. The owner, clearly unfazed by the chaos unfolding in her living room, casually remarked, "Well, I tried. They won't listen. Good luck to you," while brandishing a thin, rolled-up newspaper as if it were a magic wand. All the while, someone was filming the hilarious chaos and taking selfies. The whole scene was so absurd that you couldn't help but laugh. If the mob had gotten involved, things could have turned out way worse for the thief, but instead, he got a lesson he won't soon forget. After this encounter, it's safe to say he'll think twice before attempting another heist. 21. Porch pirate's worst nightmare. In Ogden, a family's dog named Zero transformed from a timid lab into a heroic protector when porch pirates attempted to steal a package right from their doorstep. Whitney, the dog's owner, described Zero as a lovable but scaredy cat who jumps at the sight of dusters or plastic bags. Yet, when it came to defending his home, he showed no fear. As the thief approached, Whitney yelled, "Get him, Zero!" The pup sprang into action, charging at the would-be robber, who, overwhelmed by the unexpected canine confrontation, tossed the package back and bolted. Thanks to Zero, their house became a no-go zone for thieves. Whitney joked about the package, a $4 dimmer switch from IKEA, saying it would have been funny if the thieves had succeeded, because it was practically worthless. But with Zero on duty, it's clear they won't be messing with this home anytime soon. Could your dog catch a thief?